Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite angel and demon partner pair. Maybe the only angel demon partner pair. Anyway, the demon does really cool demon stuff. Let's start with the angel, Regna. At the end of each end step, if you gain life, you get two little warrior dudes. Now that's something typical that an angel would do. And then this guy eats the creatures. This seems so incredibly powerful to me. Sacrifice X creatures. Yeah, there's a bunch of cards that do that for effects. But then target player, good chance it's going to be yourself. Draws X, gains X, and he gets X counters? What? So you're sacking creatures to get 3 effects? All super positive? Okay. Now, with that being said, and these are paired partners, doesn't that seem like the most sick and twisted mono white angel ever? She just brings the boys in so her homie can eat them. Anyway, different story. Let's look at the deck. We're going to start with creatures. We don't have, it ain't as thick creature wise as normally would be. We're going to start with, of course, Felidar Sovereign. Now, Felidar Sovereign, great card. It's, here again, still to this day, I've never won a game with this. But one day it'll happen. I've got it in enough decks, y'all know that. And you're going to gain some life off of Krav. So, hey, if nothing else, it draws a removal spell so that you can, keep something else alive. Geist Honored Monk in there simply because it's an army in a can. And it's also in another deck coming up. Comball. It's just good value. I really like Comball. Ailey. Another sack outlet, Regal Bloodlord. Makes a token. Cliffhaven Vampire. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So it's not point for point. Like if you gain 5 life, or his ability, you activated it and X equals 5, well, each opponent's still only going to lose 1. It's not for each life. So the Sarah Seer, fairly decent sack engine, I believe. But we are talking, this is mostly a token deck, so I've got Emira Angel and Josu Vess. Now, I'm digging the Blaring Recruiter. Not actually playing the partner with it here. He's just in there solo because he's 3 mana dude. And how many times does somebody pass their turn to you and you've just looked down to untap and you're like, oh, I've got 3 or 4, 6 mana untapped and I didn't really do anything. And I can just dump this mana to get some actual value. I used it. I got something out of my time and my mana. Because there's little worse than going to your untap step and not having to untap anything because you didn't do anything the turn before. But anyway, as with, tokens, and of course we want to gain some life there for the Sovereign and whatnot, we got the Soul's Attendant, and of course the Soul Warden, Healer of the Pride. Now, Healer of the Pride's double life, but it's only you, so. And, 4 mana. Suture Priest. Now, I'm running Vampire Nighthawk because this is a good old-fashioned magic card. This is... there's nothing not to love about this card. Most of the time, it's a murder. Let's be honest. They're not going to let you get away with it forever. This is just a murder. Oh, Mortician Beetle. That looks fun. So when somebody sacks a creature, this guy gets... And how the mighty have fallen here. Mortician Beetle is one of the few cards that are fallen, started as rare and fallen all the way down to common. Lions comes to mind. Zulaport Cutthroat. Another creature dies, i.e., you sack them. Pretty sweet. And Epicure of Blood. Same thing. Now, I do have 3 tutors, of course, the Diabolic Tutor, the Beseech the Queen, and Jar of Eyeballs. This seems exactly like something Krav would have. Maybe not Regna. But creature you control dies, put 2 eyeball counters on it. I think that's one of the most flavorful things I've ever read, to be honest with you. But the downside is you have to remove all the eyeball counters at 1 activation. So, but if you've got, I mean, you're getting 2 counters per dude, and in this deck you're eating some dudes. I like it. We're going to give it a try. I'm probably going to drop it in other decks, especially sacrifice decks. Let's get to our ramp rock stuff. Of course, Living the Dream is turn 1 Soul Ring into Marble Diamond. Or maybe Charcoal Diamond. Prismatic Lens. Then, of course, we have our Orzhov stuff. Mind Stone, Manolith. And we're going to give this Pyramid of the Pantheon a day in court. Now, I have actually cast this card. I played it in that Amonkhet's sealed pre-release, I believe. It's okay. It does take some... I mean, if you get it early, if you get this Joker turn 1, it's ridiculous. Because by the time, you turn 1, you turn 2, you just blindly activate. Of course, in sealed, you don't really have, a whole lot of options, and then it becomes a Gilded Lotus. But now you're paying, was it 2, 4, 6, 7 mana for it over the course of 3 turns? Yeah, you're getting 3 mana back. We'll see. Now, let's look at other stuff. Let's put some tokens into play. Because our creatures there, we don't have a whole lot. Of course, Lingering Souls was kind of the first place I went. I mean, we're white, blue, we're tokens. Or, I mean, we're white, black, and we're playing with tokens. White Sun Zenith is kind of right there, too. Luminarch Ascension. Person in my play group, she just kills people with Luminarch Ascension. I don't care if it's turn 2 or turn 30. It's hard to deal with. Generally, especially as big a games as we play, somebody casts it, and by the time it gets around to their next turn, it's live. Yeah. Now, Sacred Mesa, of course, the good old-fashioned token engine. What is that? A Storm Herd would be nice. Now, Angelic Accord, we are gaining some life. And the creatures coming in gain the life from the wardens and things like that. So, Angelic Accord will create us a few tokens. Increasing Devotion, that's going to get us a few tokens. Now, this Imperial Storm, I just don't know. Now, here again, we have 2 commanders. In the perfect world, we want both of them out. But, to be honest with you, the way the deck's built, you only need Krav out. Because he's the one that's going to be redonkulous. But, say you got both of them out. You got your partner pair out there. Copy it for each time you've cast your commander. So I've cast my commander twice. I've cast Krav, and I've cast Regna. Here again, Judge Folk, help me out here. But I'm believing that's how it works. I have cast a commander twice. It ain't got to be the same one. So in that instance, I'm spending 6 mana to get 3 4/4 angels. Which, I'm not opposed to that. 6 for 3. That's Luminarch Ascension, right? Breeding Pit. Because I don't care what we feed to Krav, just as long as we're feeding him. So, hey, Breeding Pit. Oketra's Monument. Double duty here. It cheapens up your white stuff, and it, gives you some extra warriors. It's the same token even. 1/1 White Warrior. Yeah, I'm going to have a stack of tokens with this deck. Let's see, is there any more? Now, I'm running a Johnny's Welcome as another version of Soul Warden-ish kind of things. Sanguine Bond, because, I have to be that guy. There's no reason not to. Don't have the killer combo, but this fits with the deck, and just, we're probably going to be gaining some life. Probably gaining life. Debt to the Deathless just ends games. Y'all know that. Regna Sanction. It just seems like you're going to foe the person you're trying to kill and don't really care about everything else. Or actually, you might just foe everybody but yourself. And when a problem comes along, now you're just sacrificing the creature. So if something dies or whatever, a creature you care about, you can just whip it back and play. Now, Loxodon Warhammer is just in there to slap on Krav once he gets ridiculous, so he has trample. That's it. Yeah, the life gain kind of helps too, the other theme of the deck. Thrilling Encore. I don't know what to call them, anti-wrath insurance cards. I mean, we're running some board wipes, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, this is really good. All graveyards that, things that died this turn. So that's a real thing. Now, Well of Lost Dreams here is, whenever you gain life, which we're going to be doing from Krav, you may pay X. So this is another mana payment. So this is getting expensive. Where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gain, you draw X cards. Now we're already drawing X cards again. This may need to come out. I may, in fact, not be responsible enough to play with Well of Lost Dreams. I will deck myself. But it'll be a blast when I do it. Anyway. Now, let's look at some removal here. I'm counting the Martial Coup as removal. I mean, we are going to, filter everything we got through because we want them tokens. But do have Day of Judgment in Garrick's Wake. In Garrick's Wake's just a great card anyway. I mean, y'all know how I feel about that. It is worth the 9 mana investment. Deathbringer Regent. Of course, Doomblade, Tragic Slip. Hey, we get to play with all that cool black-white stuff. Now, yes, Vindicate and Anguished Unmaking are amazing cards, and I would run them if I had them, but I've got the Unmake and I have the other end. Sword to Plowshare, of course, Mortify, Cast Down, Disenchant, because, enchantments are on a comeback. Not that really they ever left. Terror, and our last card is, of course, Invoke the Define. Now, I'll admit, I put a lot of cards in a lot of decks for strategic reasons. I wanted another naturalized type effect for the deck, and this one happened to be foil. I'm not going to lie. I am a raccoon. I love the shiny things. I am running Temple of the False God. This is black-white. There's not an amazing amount of dual lands for this, and both of our commanders cost 5 and 6 mana. So that's a real, we need to get this out quick. That's why I've got so much artifact ramp, and that's why I can kind of justify running Temple of the False God. It's not like I'm going to be hurting on colors in a 2-color deck, but yeah, Temple sucks when you draw it on turn 1, but, a lot of stuff does. It doesn't keep me from running, Llanowar Elf when I draw it on turn 30. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.